A while ago, I had the misfortune of having to work at SEARS. Some of you have heard. My third day on the job, SEARS filed for bankruptcy. And so then I just had to deal with old white people coming in and trying to ask if I was going to lose my job. Let me explain something. I used to work at a public shooting range. I already don't like old white people. Because old white people in customer service is like everyone you've ever met on Facebook. Just all the opinions and none of the facts to support it. They just come in and they're just like, hey, I thought, are you guys having closeout sales? I was like, no, we're still open. They're like, well, fingers crossed. I was like, how old are you? Fingers crossed. It was my first night closing at SEARS, and I found a kid. Your silence was correct. I found a human child just there. The way this story starts out is a burgundy-haired with matching sweater and cane midget came up to me to recruit me for a Ponzi scheme. Is it midget or dwarf? Which one is it? Little person. Okay, good. I didn't want to say dwarf because this story is already really hard to believe, and Norse mythology isn't going to make it better. So here comes Gimli, son of Gloim, and token, and she just comes and she starts talking because she's useless, and she's just trying to give me this sales pitch to come work at her shit company. And then I recognize, because someone's tried to do this to me before, I was like, does the name Amway mean anything to you? She's like, yes, it does. That's the company. I was like, you need to fucking stop right now. By the way, if you ever go to a job interview and it's a 45-minute pep talk with a sales pitch at the end, it's not a job interview. The red flags are when it starts to feel like church in Atlanta. Everyone's fanning themselves and saying, to something that's probably not true. And then and she keeps trying to sell me on this, and then I see this little boy just wander in with 2 boxes from Build-A-Bear Workshop, so he already had a good day. Until now. I was like, perfect, this is the eggs that I wanted. And I go over to the kid and I just ask him, like, hey buddy, do you know where your mom or dad is? I said mom or dad, because what if one's dead? I didn't want to be rude. And he just starts crying and he says, my Bobby. I was like, oh fuck, he's Dutch. And then the little person, that's her character name, just comes in and she's just like, he's too young to work for my shit company. And then she's just like, did you lose your parents? I'm going to go find them. And then she just walks off into the mall. It's like, what are you going to do, look for the crying white people? You're at SEARS. They're probably here. That's where they congregate. What about Hot Topic? That's a different kind of white. And she just takes off into the darkness. I was like, shit, she's gone. Good job, kid. And so I bring the kid over to my section. I felt weird because I work in mattress, so I just bring him over to the bed, which doesn't help. Like, you find a kid and you're like, have a seat. But he's fine. And then I call loss prevention, which was ironic in itself because there was a loss and he didn't prevent it. And I was like, I found a kid. There's a lost kid. He's like, well, where are the parents? I said, exactly. He was like, all right, I'll be right there. I was like, good job. And then I call my manager. I'm like, I found a kid. And she, where's the parents exactly? And she was like, what does that mean? I was like, get there faster. And she's like, all right, well, fine. I'll ring up these customers, then I'll be right there. I was like, you have your priorities straight. And then I'm trying to make sure this kid doesn't cry. So like I take off my watch and I hand it to him. I said, my best friend gave me this watch and it makes me feel safe. Do you want to put it on and make sure and see if it makes you feel safe? And he said, yeah. And then he said it made him feel safe. I'm like, what a fucking idiot. He's so fucking stupid. Like, just, he got lost. Like, he already didn't start out smart. And what's weird is, like, all the management has, like, a 15-foot cordon away from this kid just looking at him like, I don't know what's wrong with him. I think he's Dutch. Like, no one would talk to him. And then the weirdest thing, like, the 2 crying old people just walked in, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch, she found him, because she's just, like, hobbling along behind him, the little person. And then they're just, whatever. They're just like, glad we found your kid or whatever, and we were just like, we were trying to find you or whatever, and the kid's just like not talking because the Dutch. And then they were like, oh no, the reason he can't communicate very well is because he's autistic. And I was like, I thought he was Dutch. And what's weird is the little person threw in, you know what you should do next time? I was like, this is gonna be fucking great. Next time you should put like a little bell around his neck and like a piece of paper with your phone number on it. I was like, next time, don't lose your fucking kid. You know how you're holding his hand? Don't let go. It's not college. You don't have to drop it halfway through. And what's weird, whenever they said, well, he has issues communicating because he's autistic, the little person immediately chimed in with, I knew it. I'm not kidding. She, as soon as I looked into his eyes, I knew something was wrong. Now, if you make eye contact and they're having a difficulty making eye contact with you, like, I get it. That's a red flag right there. But this was also a lost kid talking to strangers, so looking left and right kind of makes sense. What you do not know about this is the kid is like cross-eyed, like aggressively cross-eyed, like lightsabers in a duel cross-eyed. As soon as I looked into his eyes, I knew something was up. Are you fucking serious, Gimli? Really? You knew something's up? Like she just sees a cockeyed kid and it's just like, he's fucking retarded. They probably gave him all the vaccinations. Let's talk about that.